In a way, it ends where it begins.
Very insightful.
Thank you for sharing this Red Baron with us, Linda. It's so tasty, it makes me want to share something of my own. I didn't actually read the book.
Me neither.
I watched the movie last night.
I judged it by its cover.
I haven't read a book since middle school.
I'm secretly seeing 2 other book clubs.
And I can't even read.
I'm not really Gary. He just paid me to be here. Sharing Red Baron pizza can lead to more sharing.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Football day.
It is indeed a football day. I'm Joe Screbbles, joined by Simon Cardy and Dale Driver.
Yes.
I'm fresh from a 2-1 home defeat to Leyton Orient, which has been playing on the laptop. To my right. Currently, it's 0-0 against Crewe, who are third in League One.
Why are you playing it now?
Bored. Just really bored.
Chatting to us is a tiresome experience.
Well, you were restarting the PC for ages, and I had something to do.
Oh, yeah. Do you want it to record?
Dale's had problems with his teeth.
Yeah.
So I've been learning about Booper as well. It's been a productive several minutes for me.
Good.
Right. Should we kick it off?
Oh, parlance.
Yeah. Rochdale. Oh, wait, no.
Is that the order we agreed on?
Dale. It's what I meant to say.
Dale.
Oh, fuck off. You're having a bubble.
Hello, it's me. I'm back with the CCC.
The king of the Cancun Corona Colts.
The Cancun Corona Colts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right, so, quick refresh of
What I will
happened.
say, it's very good they don't spell Corona with a K, because that could be a very different
or
acronym.
Or Cancun.
Well, it would have to be all of them spelled with a K.
Yeah.
Well, that's a word I don't want to live in. I don't know about you.
Well, the horrors of reality are all too clear to us these days.
The fact that we started talking about Corona a lot and then some
virus.
stuff happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so don't look into this as if we're
coronavirus.
We're not nasty comedians. We're just unlucky beer boys.
So we're not nasty chameleons.
We're not nasty chameleons either.
Right, so quick refresher what happened at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
I did okay, got into the playoffs, went out in the first round. Then I went mad in the summer and I was like, we need to buy some more players. And I got, if you remember, I got Carlos Tevez in.
That was mad, yeah.
And I also got Gareth Barry, but he's coming later because his contract has to expire.
But what we found out was that actually at the end of this season in real life, LAFC won the MLS, so you kind of failed, really.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Because we were like, mid-table, it'll give you a kind of platform to build on. They fucking smashed it. Carlos Vela scored like 32 goals or something.
He wasn't performing for me, so Everton had him. But I also got Zlatan as well, if you remember, on the staff.
I forgot how bizarre that was.
So also, weird little thing. So Zlatan came in as a coaching staff. He'd retired. And then about halfway through the season, I got a notification saying he's not going to be playing anymore. He's just going to be focusing on working for you as staff member.
It'll be the opposite. He's back.
It's clearly
he's hungry for goals.
So Zlatan, he inspired. First game, beat the champs, LA Galaxy. It's LA Galaxy with the champs. 1-0 with Hawula scoring. I also wrote, they call this the El Trafico Derby because I think it was a note for this week, but I actually read it ahead last week. So it's good. And then we have a few games. It's good. It's going all right. It's good. I'm trying to sort of skim over this week because I realise I've broken down every game. Probably not the best way to do this.
We were learning about the Colts last time. This time we're familiar.
But I'm feeling good about this team now. After the sledgehammer that I took to it, it's starting to feel like mine. Like I know the players. And this is nothing more highlighted but when I beat Nashville with Tevez and Hawula brace as well. So my boys are getting goals.
Tevez and Hawula.
Hawula brace. He's done the Hawula brace.
I just want to point out that I'm 2-1 up against Crewe right now, which I'm very pleased about.
So the problem was I don't know if you remember, but I got rid of a lot of players. So I was just like, you can go. I was just like, I'm going to build this from the ground up.
Then you signed Sean Morrison for $9 million?
He's doing all right, mate. He's my captain as well. But the problem now is the squad numbers are looking a little low. And any injuries could fuck me really bad. So I was like, I've got to look what's out there. Got to see what's out there. So I had this idea that I'm going to search for more players called Corona.
Yep.
I'm also going to search for players with the surname Cancun.
Okay, I knew this.
Or Colts.
Nice.
Inspired.
But I couldn't find anything, obviously, because those names are mental.
Line?
Really?
No.
There's a NFL backup quarterback, I don't know if he's still in the league, called Colt McCoy.
Okay.
So you could... No use to you, but
he sounds like
the name exists.
Sounds like he'd get on with Augustus McGiff.
Yeah.
So in a note, I said, while doing this, I found a right back for North Carolina with the most American name I've ever seen.
Go on. Oh, wait, can we guess?
Go for it.
Washington Lincoln.
Fireworks the July.
Bear in mind, I'm searching for those words before. So
Burger bastard.
Yeah.
Wait, it's definitely going to be Colt.
Yeah.
Colt.
Is it though?
Hammerlock.
Colt Angeles.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Colton Storm.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Doesn't he sound like he could be in some blockbuster movie?
Fresh from the WWE.
Is he fast as lightning?
No, it turns out he's rubbish, so I just ignored him. But good name. And there's a few expiring contracts that I noticed that I'll pick up, and I thought, I'll have you in the summer. So I've got Lucas Zidane. Is he related?
Yeah, he's his son.
Is he the goalkeeper?
Yeah, French keeper worth $3 million.
That's a really good signing. Lucas Zidane's quite highly rated.
So I've seen him before when I was playing on the Coventry save, and I remembered him. So I was like, he can do. Luis Suarez.
What? Not that one. Yeah, there's a
22-year-old Colombian who I'm hoping can live up to his namesake as well.
That's not often how it works. Although for Ronaldo it worked.
Yeah. Matty Longstaff.
Oh yeah,
Why not? Why not have him?
He got sacked from your team in your game, didn't he? So.
And finally, he's back.
Redemption.
With something to prove, is Sammy Amy.
Oh, God.
He's a lot younger this time. He's like 20
Is it Sammy or Shola that had the picture of him riding a bike and eating an apple? I think it's Shola.
I'd like to think they've both done it.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
What do you call those bicycle for two?
Tandem.
Tandem, that's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
The Beast, Batista. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't quite ready. He was 17. I jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for the show.
I loaned him out to Colorado. I was like, you need some experience, but one day you'll be back.
Yeah.
So I had just over $1 million to spend, and I wanted to bolster the squad a little bit. So I saw a Brazilian that I liked the name of, and he's got a few Brazilian caps as well. So I was like, surely you can't go wrong with this. So
he get a Brazilian international.
Yeah. Well, he's had a few caps.
There's lots of Brazilian internationals who have like two caps, and they're not.
Still, for an MLS team,
that's fair.
Say hello to 28-year-old Wellington Nem.
Yeah, he played for Shakhtar, I think.
He did play. He came from Shakhtar as well. I just love that.
My
name.
head is useless.
I know. Wellington Nem.
I wrote here, a few games go past, not much to talk about. Wellington M is playing but not making a huge impact.
Okay.
But the board thinks that the Tevez buy was a poor decision. He's playing, but he is mostly on the bench, though.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he can hardly run at this stage of his career.
But we are doing well. We didn't really play. After a while, I realised Tevez is like... He's an impact sub at best.
That's
right.
That's Mark Albrighton for me. 37, no legs, but God, he's got a whip on him.
But I've got 16th game and we're still top. Only lost 2 games. And next up is New England Revolution. What a name.
Wow.
Went 2-0 down, but in the second half equalised with both Nem and Tevez scoring, which is good. And then Wellington gets injured in the next game as well, which sucks.
Jesus.
So... if you remember last time I said there wasn't much to play for, there was the MLS trophy and that was it. Turns out I was wrong about that, and there is a domestic trophy. It was just clearly when I started the game last time,
it was already over.
Lost it.
It's called the US Cup.
That inspired.
And the 4th round was against the New York Red Bulls, and I beat them 2-0. So we're carrying on.
They're
we're
nothing
in the
without Bradley Wright Phillips these days.
No. He was absolutely banging him in, wasn't he?
That bit is not that interesting, so let's go past that. Here we go. Someone on Twitter told me a player to look out for. So I was like, hello, this is interesting.
You getting tips?
Yeah, someone sent me a tweet, and they said, look out for this player. It's a defender from Luton, Do you know who it is?
Defender from Luton.
Yeah, his contract's expiring soon. He's worth 300k, and I was like, on name alone, I'm going to get this man.
Okay.
Welcome aboard, Donovan Daniels.
Yes, please.
It's actually spelt the correct way as well, like Donovan.
Well, when you say correct.
Yeah,
Donovan.
I named him. It's the correct way.
Yeah.
That's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know what?
Donovan Daniels. It's from an ex-wife.
He looks all right. He looks all right as well. If he was absolutely rubbish, I probably would have.
You still would have gone.
So here's an update. 22 games in, won 14, drawn 4, lost 4, topped by 8 points.
That is very good.
Shit.
It feels like the other teams are being really bad though as well. I could have rephrased that
You can
better,
only
but
beat what you've put in front.
it felt like I was okay, but all the other teams were being really shit. Like LA Galaxy were like bottom of the table.
I've got a new challenge for you, actually, if you ever need one for Manager. I want a team where you only have double Ds. Every single player has to be a D.
Okay, I'm into it.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say with that is I want to start with a team with lots of money. So I've got a leg up.
Or they already have 8 DDs.
I've got loads of double Ds.
Leicester let 34-year-old Christian Fuchs, is that it? Fuchs?
Yeah.
A contract expire. So I'll get some more experience in.
How old?
Why not? 34, it says.
He's only 34. Oh, I suppose you're only... I keep thinking we're like 10 years in the future. You're only like 2.
I started again. Little note, Mourinho.
Good free kick taker.
Jose Mourinho just retired July 2020.
Straight out.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Mad.
Not interested anymore.
He's the manager in my save, like 10 years in the future.
Isn't he like late
He's only
50s?
he's not even late 50s, I don't think. He's like...
Seems like a very early age to retire.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long Arsene Wenger used to go in Football Manager? I feel like he'd be in it till he was like 90 years old.
Well, I think you've got an aberration there. That doesn't feel like the standard sim.
Little spoiler for mine. I'm in, like... I'm going to do 26, 27 and 27, 28
oh my God.
this week, but I'm in 29 or 30 currently in my game. Klopp is still Liverpool manager.
Jesus.
He's the only Premier manager that's still at the club.
Dynasty.
Now.
He is.
I would actually like that to happen in real
He
life.
is actually in real life.
But I want to beat him.
So long, is it? It's going to
Is
take
he?
a lot
I don't know.
for him to
He
go.
kind of got the
Unless he
cycle.
gets a better
We're getting into
offer.
real football talk now, but the cycle at Dortmund kind of it worked its way. They did well for a few years, and then it kind of just fell off. That's often the way of managers.
I just feel like he'd get so much goodwill from
He's
this
happy.
season that they've got
I
to
don't think they'd ever sack him. He'd choose to go.
Yeah. Anyway, so the international transfer window is now open and all these contracts are coming up. So I went a little bit crazy. Like I said, I need to bolster the squad.
Alakazam.
So here I've just got a list of players that we're going to go through, right?
Don't know where that came from.
I've got some of the
Magic
bottom
Man
that you already know about. So Donovan Daniels, Matty Longstaff, Luis
Big
Suarez,
names.
Lucas Zidane,
Suarez, Zidane. What a team.
Gareth Barry.
Barry.
42-year-old goalkeeping legend
Bradford.
Buffon.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
The buffoon.
The problem is with Buffon, it'll come up later.
He's a fascist.
He's very much checked out, but he is very handy to have, like to give experience and to mentor the younger keepers.
He is very handy.
Yeah.
He's spending all his time on Venice Beach. Not just because it's like being at home in Italy, but
Just going to Little Italy.
Yeah.
I got Carlos Gutierrez, the 28-year-old centre-back. He looks quite tasty.
Ooh.
I got, how would you pronounce this? Alexander Martinovic, I guess, a 32-year-old centre-back. He's got 75 caps for Belarus.
A lot of experience.
Yeah. And then another one.
Motherfucker.
Another striker
That's what they
called
call
Omar Al-Soma. You heard of him? 31-year-old.
Omar Al-Soma?
Yeah.
That's wicked.
31-year-old Syrian striker.
Go on,
I can't say I do know him, though.
You finally stumped him.
But he's got 14 goals in 30 caps as well. I was like...
For Syria.
He could be tasty. And it was just a contract. Yeah, all right, mate. But who does Syria play?
Did I imagine that
Jordan?
you'd sign... Did I imagine you'd sign
Oman?
Wout Weghorst again?
No.
Oh, was that because Spurs were going to buy him?
That was
in real
real
life?
life.
Linked with him for an hour during the transfer window.
So the problem now is I've got a 39-player squad.
That's too many.
I've gone too far the opposite direction. Feels massive. I need to get rid of some, especially as my wage budget is 109k over what I'm allowed.
Oh my God.
You're getting sacked for that.
Well, we'll see. Next match is the Cup. Quarterfinals against Real. So is it Real Salt Lake?
Real Salt
It was
Lake,
Real Salt Lake.
No, it's Real.
It seems
Because they
mad.
nick names like that. That's how they do it.
Because they're named after the King of Heaven.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
But yeah, I'm in this team though. It's a cup game, so I make 7
Why
debuts.
would they call the team Real Salt Lake? There's an
Because
MLS team called Fake Salt Lake.
Because they're American.
But it is weird that it's
English.
Real.
Although Fake Lake is
Yeah,
quite good.
anyway.
Fake Lake would be brilliant.
But yeah, anyway, against Salt Lake, I make 7 debuts in the first team.
Yes.
Which is bold, but I'm a bold guy.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Do you lose?
No, it was 1-1, but I won on penalties, so I'll take it.
Yes, please.
Next game, I've noticed that I've dropped down to second place in the league. So
What?
So
You've lost your 8-point lead.
yeah, it's gone
That's
down.
not
Yeah,
good.
all these new players coming in, I guess it's rocked
almost
the
like you
boat a little
fucked
bit. But I'm playing a team. Do you know what Seattle's team's name is?
Sounders?
Yeah, the Seattle Sounders. I just thought it was weird. I think all American football team names are weird.
I mean, do you know what sounding is in a sort of less official version parlance?
No.
It's having stuff stuck down the end of your penis.
Is it?
For sexual pleasure.
Be Googling that later.
I don't think we do.
But yeah, we beat them 5-3 with both Suarez and Alsoma getting braces as well. So new boys.
Omar Alsoma.
Mate,
He's a serious player.
these two players are legit.
6 out of 10.
Let me tell you.
Really?
They absolutely bang them in for me.
I want to look up
henceforth.
Omar. Where's he at?
Back to the Cup. Semi against Inter Miami. 3-0 win as well. With
You
Suarez,
tell me they're not doing Real Salt Lake, they've stolen Inter Miami.
With Suarez and Alsoma brave. Sorry, I wrote brave again. I meant to say braces again.
He's a brave lad.
Yeah. Last day of international transfer deadline, and Stuttgart have come in for a 21-year-old fullback, Palacios, who's a high talent for me. He's one of the players I kept.
Is that Ezekiel?
I don't know. He was one of the original players that were there at the team before I started,
Might not
and
be.
he was one of the most valued players. I wrote, he's a talent, but they offered double his value, which is 18.25 million. They offered. He was only
You
worth
could
like
pay off
9.
all your wage budget with that.
Wow. I could do with the money to sort my wage bill
there we
out.
go.
Flog him. And it did. It sorted my wages out completely. I think I still had money to spare at the
That's
end as well.
brilliant.
So a bit of wheeling dealing. It
we
always
go.
works out.
I just want to say I looked up Omar Alsoma. And he is nicknamed Al-Aqid, which is a historical civil character in Damascus known for participating in the resistance against occupiers and for being courageous, helpful, and generous. So if you do want to call him Al-Aqid.
It's Diego Palacios.
So
Carry on.
you may have noticed that the cup games were going well. I was getting through. I'm in the final. It's against Cincinnati.
This is the US Cup final, not the MLS playoff.
Yes,
one.
it's just the cup. It's a domestic cup, yeah.
Yeah.
Batter them 4-0 with Suarez getting all 4 goals.
Oh, Luis.
He's a machine.
That's
I love it.
great.
He's very much living up to his namesake. And I won the cup, and so the board are delighted. But they immediately said they expect bigger and better things from me next season.
not much you
And I'm like, can I just fucking enjoy a win?
Yeah.
Like, I'll turn this around for you, even though apparently now I found out that you're actually doing really well.
Well, yeah, there is that.
But I feel like I turned it
Although
around.
I think
Anyway.
last season was probably their best.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, they've only been around a few years.
So I always thought LA Galaxy were like dominant, but on this game they are not at
Nah.
all. Like they've
just always had the big signings.
To be fair to MLS, they have kind of half worked out. Well, they've gotten towards working out a problem in modern football with how money works. So, good on them for that. Even if it's a bit weird.
Anyway, after the cup game, the good run continues. There's a 2-0 win over Nashville, and I secure my place in the playoffs. So we're doing the playoffs again.
Yes, mate.
And then the next few games were mixed. So with this, but the season ends with us in second place. So that's good. The thing here, I noticed.
Playoffs.
So there's in each division there was I think it was 12 or 14 teams.
Yeah.
But you actually play 34 games in the season, and from what I can work out is you play every team in your division twice,
And the others
but
once.
you play people in the other division once.
That's similar to how the NFL works. So you play everyone in your division twice, so that's 6 games.
Yeah.
Then you play everyone in another of the divisions from your conference once, that's another 4 games. And then you play everyone from a division in the opposite conference once, that's another 4 games.
So I first started noticing when I was playing like New York teams, I was like, hang on, what's going on here?
And then
I like that, though.
you also play the equivalent position of the teams in the divisions of your conference that you finished in last season.
Oh my God.
That's weird.
It's mucky.
That's too much.
sense.
That is much.
It makes sense once you know it.
Anyway, this is how the season ended. 34 games played, 18 wins, 5 draws and 11 losses, which is not too bad. I finished second, so I'll take it.
Especially with most of a new first team in there
but
as
they're
well.
a good first team.
39 players to pick from. I mean,
I think I don't know if I wrote it down, but I'll have to have a look when I bring up the game at the end. Anyway, that's a teaser. But Suarez. Oh no, I've got it. I've got a note here actually. Sorry. So first round of the playoffs is against FC Dallas, and it's a 1-0 win with Suarez, my boy, again scoring.
My boy.
And this is where I wrote his notes. He scored 15 goals in 14 games.
Yes,
my
please.
number one boy.
Yeah, I mean one of them 4 goals in one game.
Yeah,
it
still.
sorts out a little bit. And then the semi-final was against Nashville, who have already played and beat.
You love the Music City.
Yeah, I do. Well, this is the day the music died. 4-2 win, and we're in the final.
Oh, I thought you were saying you lost. I was okay. You killed
He
them.
murdered the music.
I killed the music.
Killed Dolly Parton.
But the final is against the San Jose Earthquakes, and I haven't played that game. And my note here simply says on my phone, I'll do it live.
Fucking I'll do it live.
Oh, that's a tease.
Yeah.
That's going to be our end of show feature for this week.
Whoa.
The Cancun Corona Colts take
And
on
while
San Jose
somebody's talking,
Earthquakes.
I'm going to prep my team
I'd love you to.
as well.
Put Suarez on the bench.
No way. Never.
Bollocks, journal, bullshit.
Cardy, smash us up with some deets.
I've got 2 action-packed seasons here. This is what it's all been building up to. There's there's some stuff here. So if you remember last season, in the years 2025 to 26 season, I finished 4th. We were doing all right, but we're in the Champions League for the first time.
Yeah,
so that's good. So the year is 2026. Radamel Falcao is now Aston Villa manager.
Legend.
Across the city at Birmingham, Dries Mertens is now manager.
Weird.
Coventry City keep up the Midlands madness. They're now in the Championship.
Good.
Thanks to Mick McCarthy. There we go.
You'd love to see Mick McCarthy take over
I
at
have
Cov.
faith in my boy Matt Robbins. I would never let that man go.
Shrewsbury Town. This will be one for Joe. Now managed by Tottenham legend Johnny Jackson.
Fuck off. One time in a Scrabble's alternate universe, England first team winger, Johnny Jackson. That's amazing.
It's good stuff. Accrington Stanley manager Dedrick Boyata. Belgian defender. Hartlepool manager Luis Boa-Morte.
It's like it's
all
doing
happening.
this on purpose.
I love it so much. But
Luis Boa-Morte.
I think is he a West Ham coach at the moment?
Oh, I don't know.
He might be. He's coaching somewhere.
Big left foot,
Fulham?
Luis Boa-Morte.
It's one of the clubs. Anyway,
I
I'm
liked
still
it.
at
I wonder how they
Newcastle.
decide like what players they put forward to these positions. Like, is it based on stats or is it just plucking out a thin
It
air?
is. I don't know because Cameron Jerome has gone fucking Dortmund already, and his stats aren't that good.
Part of isn't it part of it decided on like adaptability and determination, which are things that are determined by their actual mental stats as players and that kind of
It
thing?
is interesting.
There are definitely some mental stats. Right. I'm in the Champions League for the first time, and I'm happy with my squad. The squad, I'm not going to... Last few seasons, I've spent tons, got loads of players in, but I want to settle them down, get a winning team together.
Was it very much a revolving door for the last couple of years?
Oh, you would say so. Now it's firmly shut. I haven't really sold anyone, and the only player I've really bought is, for 50 million, mind you, an 18-year-old central midfielder from Bayern, just for the future, called Philip Horgel.
Oh, that's nice.
And he's my third choice midfielder at the moment, but
For the future,
he's young.
you still spunked 50 million on it.
Yeah, but he's looking good.
Should we quickly bring up the fact that it was pointed out that one of your regens is an actual person at Sports Interactive?
Yeah, their name, Tom Laskowski, is I think he's a UI. I may have made that up. I think he's UI designer at Sports Interactive.
Tom Laskowski works at Sports Interactive,
Yeah.
so
It's
someone
just the
pointed
name.
out to him on
Send that
Twitter.
to him.
I think he's seen it.
Oh, right, okay.
There we go. Anyway, start of the season. It's a good start. After the first 5 games, we're third. Solid. I'm aiming for top 4 again and maybe a little cup run because we haven't really... It's been, I think, since 1955 that Newcastle have really won anything. And we want this. We want the wins.
Yeah.
I thought you would just skip into the end then. You were like,
No,
and
yeah,
we won it.
and we want everything. No, first Champions League campaign for us. We're drawn a little group of death.
Okay.
Lille, Inter, Barcelona.
Fuck.
Are they,
It's very similar to a Spurs group from a few years ago.
Inter and Barcelona still dominant forces
Barcelona
there.
are still very good. Remember, I sold Jude Bellingham to him, and I got Alfredo, though, the boy.
Alfredo. Delicious creamy pasta
I knew it
boy.
was you,
boy
Fredo.
Alfredo.
I knew it was you, Fredo. Little Godfather 2 for
You know we
everyone
got
there.
it.
Some people, it didn't look like you knew what the fuck was going on.
No, it's just we're sick of
It
you.
may be a group of death, and I'm the fucking Grim Reaper because I slay everything in fucking front of me, and I finished top of
I
that
can
group.
imagine your
on
little
10
face when you were
points.
typing that out as well.
It was in bed last night at 10 p.m. I was
your
like,
pants.
I didn't even type that out. That came to me on the spot. That did.
All right.
What's the what was the Barcelona scores?
I drew at home and lost away, but I won every other game.
Oh, so you didn't slay everything in front of you?
No, but I topped the group, so
Yeah, but what you said was a lie.
well,
Not the Grim Reaper, though.
I slayed mostly what was put in front of me.
How did Jude do against you?
You fucking did nothing. Man.
Oh, okay.
But then we get Leon in the next round, and we go out to them pathetically. What's the point?
Oh, that's sad.
So that's that.
Did wonder why
Experience
you were
is the
doing
point,
this.
mate. Next year you'll do better.
Yeah. Who knows?
And you'll have lifelong hate for Leon.
Yeah. Well, that's if I get in the Champions League next season. Halfway in the season, we sit third. 2 points behind Man U and Arsenal are in first and second. Arsenal are somehow a force again.
Fuck that.
It is a good 8 years in the future or so. But next game, though, we get a key 2-1 win versus Man U.
Ooh, that's
And we're
good.
now
That's
top after 20 games.
big.
Can I just ask, who's managing those clubs?
Oh, yep. Oh, you prick. Man U manager was... Oh, it's changed around since I last looked. Someone good.
Okay.
It was, they were big managers.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, it was Allegri. It was Allegri for Man U.
Ah.
And I can't remember who's at Arsenal. Who cares? So, let's just skip forward a little bit in this season. So I've got a lot to get through here. 10 games later, we're 3 points clear of the top after 30 games.
Hello.
It's now Liverpool closing me down, though, in second. 3 points behind.
If we beat them. Love it.
Do you remember my young 18-year-old Brazilian backup left-back I bought, Chao Henrique?
Nope.
Not really.
I bought him. He's come out as gay.
Oh.
It's lovely.
I didn't know. Did that?
And that is just a testament to the accepting nature of my changing room, that he felt comfortable doing that.
That's really nice.
We do, though, then lose 2 of the next 3 games. So, didn't really boost
You're
morale
saying there's
that
a
much.
knock-on effect.
Well, they said morale has been boosted, shirt sales have increased, and then we lose 2 of the next 3 games. What's happening?
I don't want you drawing any false positives from it.
And Liverpool now lead by 3 points.
Oh.
So,
3
after
points is not
33
much.
games,
Please don't
we're 3
blame
points
it on
off.
Chao Hernandez.
No, Chao Henrique, get his name right.
Chao Henrique.
I was hoping this would boost the morale of the team.
Hey, 3 points
It
is not an impossible. hill
Everyone
to
on your
climb.
team, what they've done,
2
their
out of
morale's
3
been boosted.
games.
They've all realised there's more to life than just football.
That is true.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I just want happy people in my squad.
Good.
Rather than victories, because happy people is better than
But
victories.
good players want that.
That's the classic quote. Happy people is better than victories.
People could learn from that a lot. We've got Liverpool next up.
Shit.
There's 4 games left of the season. 5 games left of the season.
Let's
I'm
contextualise.
behind.
So Liverpool are top.
There's 5 games left in the season.
Yeah.
I've got Liverpool next, and I'm 3 points behind them.
Yeah. Okay. So a win here is very valuable.
I lose 1-0 at home. Liverpool 6 point clear. Here's the match, and here, let me know if this sounds. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but the match saw an intriguing clash of styles as Simon Cardy's fluid counter-attack approach failed to get the better of a Liverpool team favouring the gegenpress.
There you go.
Newcastle had an early effort ruled out for an infringement, a decision which would prove to be a considerable talking point for fans and pundits alike. Liverpool supporters will certainly have been happier for the use of technology in deciding the outcome of what was, at times, a controversial contest. I had 19 shots to their 15 and I didn't score. Yeah. Liverpool. I want to make this clear. I don't buy into this in real life because it's pathetic.
Yeah.
But I think it's a funny point.
I think you can watch Liverpool in real life right now and go,
they're probably the best, aren't they?
I don't think it matters.
They probably
get
are
the
the
most
best.
advantages because they create the most opportunities.
And they actually don't get that many in there.
Yeah.
But in
don't
the
have a
future,
ticket.
in my alternative reality, it's a scam.
8 years have been going on. 8 years of Liverpool.
So they're now 6 point clears.
It's a fucking pattern of
epidemic.
corruption.
So yeah, we get no points there. Morale's gone.
Oh no.
And both Manchester clubs catch up to me, and I slip to finish 4th again.
Oh,
Deja vu.
that is Newcastle as fuck. Poor bastards.
But once again, Erling Haaland, 27 and 32.
Oh.
He's an absolute beast. Second top scorer in the Premier League. Troy Parrott with 23 for Wolves.
Nice.
The lad.
He's now at Wolves. So there you go.
Troy Parrott fan
But
club.
I'm not going to lie.
27 goals, I feel like it should be.
Another
finishing
season
higher,
without
mate.
anything to really show for it. Champions League is, it's good to get in the Champions League again, but I feel a bit like Pochettino did last season.
What we talking
I'm
about?
worried.
Any progress.
I need to win
Cups.
something.
What we looking
out
at?
in the quarters to Man U in both of them.
In both? With Man U?
Yeah.
Shit.
Not on, is it?
That's grim.
Yeah.
You look actually sick.
I need to win something. I need to invest in attack because I want to score
Wait,
more
hang
goals.
on. You've got 27 goals. One striker got 27 goals.
Yeah, but I need backup. I've
There's
got
more to
Herman
life than
he's doing.
Haaland.
How many goals are you letting in?
Not that many. That's the thing. It's just
Is it too many draws?
Those few key games, like that Liverpool one where we just couldn't score.
Yeah.
I just need something off the bench to
Need more
change something.
opportunities
I
then.
think it's moral fibre.
I tell you what I need. I need a bit more pace off the bench and fresh legs. So for 29 million, I'll buy an 18-year-old Brazilian winger/striker called Flavinho.
Hello.
He has
Little
9
Flavy.
He has 19 pace and 20 acceleration.
Whoa, he's a
I
fast
want
boy.
it. I want it. Off the
want
bench.
it. Stop
calling
He's
him
coming.
it.
I want it as in the pace, not him.
These are men. These are young men.
Then on deadline day, are you familiar with Fabio Silva?
I am.
He's like an 18-year-old. This might be 17 or 18 in real life. Porto striker.
Okay.
He's got a
choose to play
very
him on the
cartoonish face.
Yeah, I mean, I buy him from Arsenal for 49 million on deadline day, and I managed to get him to pay 81k a week of his wages. So,
how old
mug
is he at
them
this
off.
point? Like
He's only
26?
24, 25.
Okay.
So yeah, I've now got about 5 first-choice strikers. So
So
too many. Some would
That's
say.
too many.
they're going to start
Interesting.
getting annoyed, mate. They're not
I need to
playing.
win something.
Yeah, he doesn't care as long as he wins.
I need a win. Atletico Madrid offer me an interview. I just want to win with Newcastle at this point. I've built something here, and I want to win. It's pre-season, and let me read you this.
Is this how the interview? Did you
Let me
actually
read
get
you
to the
this.
interview?
No, I fucked him off. Newcastle fans sang the praises of their heroes at Hong Kong FC Stadium as they watched their team run out 18-0 winners over Hong Kong FC.
Big away support for Newcastle at Hong Kong FC.
Nice trip, innit?
To
Maybe
be-
8 years.
also-
Not at the moment, maybe.
I mean, if it was 18-0.
And also, to be fair, you've probably invested in some like Far Eastern. sort of
this
products.
Yeah, Mike Ashley's out. We're doing all sorts.
scored the goals?
Alfredo scored 5.
Nice.
Haaland with 3. Hong Kong had 1 shot. I had 78.
Jesus.
It could have been so many more.
I was going to say, that's not a very good conversion
There's
rate.
already civil unrest over there.
Let me give you some updates from around the league.
78 shots.
Spurs manager Pep Guardiola now in charge.
Wow.
Oh, hello.
Another Spurs connection. Danny Rose now AFC Wimbledon manager.
Good on him. Yeah, I think he's got the mindset to be a manager one day. I think he's
maybe.
strong-willed.
Barnet. Wayne Rooney's in charge.
Good.
Oh, God.
He's loving it.
Is they in the Premier League?
Barnet.
Yeah, it's 8 years in the future.
I think they're League 2,
Well,
mate.
Wayne
Wayne
Rooney's in charge, though. I
Wayne
would have thought he'd be
That
moving up in
means
the
nothing
world.
anymore.
Edgar Davids was in real life Barnet manager. So-
Let's, because there's lots at the end of this season, so I'm going to go skip to 14 games in. We're top by 5 points.
Jesus.
The firepower is working, banging them in all sorts. I don't know what that means.
Is it more than Haaland scoring?
Yeah, everyone's scoring.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Haaland, Hermanutz, Fabio Silva,
Hermanutz was
Flavinho.
there.
Oh, Dennis Hermanutz. Whew. He's quick. I've got so much pace in the team, I can't keep up.
What English players have you got?
Something like that, mate. I've got Laskowski. I've got Panzo.
Okay, all right. Because there's obviously the rules of like so many English players.
I think I've got Freddie Woodman, backup goalkeeper.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
Oh, I've got a young. I've brought through the youth academy. He's worth now 54 million. Richard Doby, an elite midfielder.
That's very
He
cool.
scores absolute corkers from 30 yards.
Corkers.
So yeah, we're top by 5 after 14 games.
That's good.
And we finished second in our Champions League group with Monaco, Bayern, and Inter. Another tough group.
That is a really tough group.
But
horrible.
second, we're through again after 20
Who,
games.
who didn't get through in that group?
Inter finished bottom and Bayern didn't get through, so it's Monaco top, then me.
Jesus.
Monaco and Newcastle. I didn't see they get through in that group.
Terms of James.
There you go. 6 games later, after 20, we're top by 2, 13 unbeaten in the league,
Good, very good.
and we've got Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League.
Mother may I.
January window comes along, something catches my eye.
Who is it?
Harry Kane has 6 months left on his contract.
So I thought you were going to say 6 months to live.
I wasn't.
It's like, come on, we'll get some more out of
What
you, HK.
news story is that? He's 34. I wasn't going to go for him. I don't need another striker.
Yeah, but
so I changed my mind.
value.
Chelsea made an offer. I can't have that ever happening. So I poach him for $3 million. I need him.
He is very much a modern day Shearer.
I need the experience in my squad to maybe get us over the line. Plus, he's still never really won anything with Spurs in real life. And he's still there.
$3 million. It's pocket money for you.
Exactly. Yeah. He was on like 300 grand a week, but who cares? Get him in. I just wanted him.
300 grand a week.
I wanted him. He's good to just sit on the bench, and he's even described as like impact sub. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. 34.
You already had 5 strikers, so.
Yeah, but Harry Kane.
Yeah, that's different.
We're now 18 unbeaten after 5 more games, but there's too many draws. We're behind City by a point in second.
No.
You sound genuinely...
I am. I really want you to win.
After 31, we're top on goal difference.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's tight.
We've got plus 54 goal difference.
Who's
which
just
is
under you?
Man City. They're only got plus 30 goal difference, though. So we've got... It's basically an extra point.
Yeah.
We get past Leipzig easily. 4-2 on aggregate. We then have PSG in the quarters.
Your little face there.
And Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. We're still in all 3 big competitions at this stage of the season. In our next league game, we play Wolves. A big 1-0 win. A 90-minute winner by Kane off the bench. He's paid for himself in that one win. That's a big 3 points.
That is good.
I bet you went fucking mental when that happened.
I loved it. 6 games left, we're still top on goal difference. And then I'm offered a new 4-year contract, which I obviously accept because they're offering me 155k a week.
Just put it down to 1k and have some more money.
I can't do that though, can I? And also something else catches my eye there. I get a $500,000 bonus if I win the Champions League.
Bloody hell.
So
that doesn't seem like much.
I kind of like that. So I don't think it's any coincidence that we then batter PSG 8-2 on aggregate in the quarterfinals. Absolutely fucked them. We were only expected to reach the quarterfinal.
Who scored the goals?
I ain't got every detail there. I've got a lot here to get through. Give me a fucking break, mate. We're drawing Man City. Drawing Man City in the semis. And we beat Southampton in the semi-final of the FA Cup. We're in the final of the FA Cup against Spurs. Harry Kane against Spurs in the FA Cup final.
That's pretty good.
After 34 games, we're still top of the league on goal difference. I'm going for a treble. 35th game of the season. We get revenge on Liverpool with a 3-1 win.
Yes.
And that ends their chances of winning the title.
Shut up, Liverpool. Does Klopp get sacked?
No, he's still there. A few little asides I notice. Swansea have hired Gylfi Sigurdsson as manager, which is a lovely touch.
That's really nice.
Brighton, Fabio Cannavaro as manager. That's beautiful.
Cannavaro would love it down on the south coast.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And Burnley, Diego Godin.
Oh, that's exactly the kind of steel that they love.
Those are lovely managerial appointments. That's the sort of thing I love to see.
Fabio Cannavaro will end up at Brighton one day.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Right. There's 2 games left in the season and we're still top on goal difference. But first, it's the Champions League semi-finals. First leg against City, we draw 2-2 at home. Not ideal with the away goals.
No.
After 78th minute in the second leg, it's 2-2 in that game. It's on a knife edge. 79th minute.
Harry Kane.
Flavinho. The young boy with a goal. We're in the final. Barcelona in the final. It's come back round. Ooh.
Is Bellingham playing?
Ooh, we'll see about that. The treble's on. We're in 2 finals. 2 games left of the season.
Oh, that's good.
We're back to the league. 2 games left. We're still on top in goal difference. We're waltzing to victory against Norwich.
It's very tense.
Sorry. We're waltzing to victory against Norwich. 2-0 up after 86 minutes. And then there's some big old stabs in the back.
Oh, no.
In the 87th minute, Joe Linton scores to make it 2-1 to me.
Absolute bastard.
In the 97th minute, 1 Foyth scores for Norwich.
No!
It's 2-2 and not ideal. But City lose at home 3-1 to Liverpool. I'm on top by a point with 1 game left.
Klopp has absolutely saved your back.
I know. I'm top by a point. With 1 game left. We have Man U away last game.
Mm-hmm.
My nemesis. I've never really much gotten the better of them at all.
Not 2 cups last season.
And City have Swansea. I need Gylfi to do me a favour.
Gylf.
I drew 2-2 at Man U, meaning I'm 2 points clear. Man City win 5-0 and I lose the lead by a point. Oh my God. Absolute heartache.
Horrifying. Why did you even do this podcast?
I don't know how it works on the full version, but did you do a thing where you watch both games at the same time?
No, I couldn't. I had to focus.
When it's last game season, it's like that. I'll often swap to the view where it's just the league of all the games going at the same time, just watch both at the same time.
We scored a 95th. Richard Doby scored a 95th minute equaliser, and I thought, is that the point that gets? No.
Oh, got it.
Gylfi let me down.
Gylfs.
I still win Manager of the Year though. I don't want it. 2 matches to go.
Chucked
2
it in the
finals.
time.
Come back to me next year when I wrote this problem.
I could just imagine you walk into the middle of the Millennium Bridge in Newcastle and just dropping it in the time.
We've still got 2 finals to play. First up, the FA Cup final against Spurs. It's a terrible match. Awful stuff. In the first half, Haaland goes off injured.
Oh no, you need him.
I think I bought on Flavinho. I needed pace. In the 92nd minute, Davinson Sanchez scores an own goal.
Oh, you win 1-0. The twist. Davinson Sanchez getting an own goal is pretty much exactly how I imagine it would happen.
Nah. And then, I'm happy. Saverio Dramasino.
You're so happy. Imagine what you were like when it actually happened.
Saverio Dramasino lived the dream of many a supporter as he lifted the FA Cup. We've done it. The first time since 1955.
That's crazy.
Very good.
After the match, bad news. Haaland has broken his leg and is out for 5 months.
Christ.
Oh, God. Yeah,
that's not ideal. If the Euros coming up, that's sad for him.
That's not your
It means
issue.
I don't have him for the Champions League final.
Yeah, but he'll be back next season.
On a fine spring evening at the Puskas Arena.
How do you say that?
Yeah.
Fine spring evening.
It's the Barcelona Champions League final. Can we get the double?
Where's the Puskas Arena?
Be hungry, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I've never really heard of it.
I'm guessing it's in Sofia.
I believe you're right.
Newcastle's Saverio Dramasino lived the dream of many a supporter as he lifted the Champions Cup after a convincing 4-0 win over Barcelona.
Bloody hell.
An error from Barcelona's Jude Bellingham allowed Wonder Kid Flavinho to score.
Fuck you, Jude.
Casillo got 2. Do you remember Vincenzo Casillo? Or Vincent? I can't remember my own player's name. And Alfredo got 1. And we've got a little bit more, some news stories. Newcastle fans worship Cardy. The fans of Newcastle will be nursing hangovers tomorrow as the team led by Simon Cardy brought home the Champions Cup. The secretary for the official supporters club announced that Cardy's skill and success as a manager would put any of his contemporaries to shame. Club favourite Les Ferdinand heaped praise up on Cardy for pulling off an unexpected victory. I'm on top of the world. A double, an FA Cup and Champions League double, but it's not the league, and that's what I want.
Still got a challenge. You imagine the scenes in Shearer's Bar when
Mate, it'd
Champions
be
League.
insane down there.
Jesus
But
Christ.
the league is what I really want. I'm a bit like Liverpool now.
It's
a bit
good
like
though.
last year's Liverpool.
You've
League is what we want.
You've reached a lot of success, but you still have another
I have something
goal.
to aim for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
And then the next season you've got to do them all at once.
you want a treble?
Treble, mate.
I just want the league. That's all I want.
Just want to point out very quickly, Puskas Arena is in Budapest, not Sofia.
There we go.
We can't be seen to get
Because Sofia's not in Hungary. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yes, cheeky slag.
Rochdale.
That would be why.
Tell us about Rochdale.
Not gonna lie, I haven't finished another season since last we spoke. I've had shit on.
We're all very busy.
We are busy men. I'll let you know where I'm up to. I'm literally looking at my
Please,
match
Paul.
right now. I just
Please,
beat
Paul.
Crew 2-1,
Good.
which I'm very happy with because they are in fourth.
At what point in the season
You're in,
is this?
you're in
I
League One,
am
aren't you?
21 games into the 27-28 season.
And this is League One?
This is League One.
Oh.
I'm in 10th with 31 points, but playoff spots are at 35 points. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know where
It's
I've
tight.
come from this season. So when I moved up to League One, it looked like my wage budget had been pushed up by about 10k a week.
Okay.
I was like, this is fucking brilliant. For the first time, I'm not going to be constantly on the edge. And I realised almost every player in my squad has a promotion wage rise clause.
Not good.
And I was well over my wage budget
God.
again. So I'm actually worse off than I was last season.
Brilliant.
The small benefit is that I can get slightly better free loanees than I used to be able to. The star of which is a Spurs youth team player who I've been looking at for a couple of seasons called Rakish Britain. And Rakish Britain is fucking sick. I don't know what he's doing at Rochdale. He should be really off somewhere else.
Something I always do when I'm in the lower leagues and going up is I obviously loan from the leagues above, but I also look at the other teams that were competing with me in the league below and poach their best players.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do
that.
it. So there was a player called Lewis Watkins at Newport County who was constantly on a rolling contract, so you could sign him at almost any time. And I spent about 6 months constantly trying to readjust my budget so that I could afford him, because it was like 100k to get the compensation to bring him in. And he just moved to some shit club that wasn't me, and I'm really furious about it. That's all right. I've had for the last 2 seasons, I've had a Spurs youth team keeper called Ben Bruce on loan.
Ben Bruce,
and
BB,
and Spurs just let him go. So I snapped him straight up. Ben Bruce is a Rochdale boy now. He's been here 3 seasons.
Number 8, and he's BB8.
In the pre-season, Britain gets him injured immediately, and I'm already losing games.
What's his name?
repeatedly.
Rakish
Britain.
Rakish.
It might be Rakish, but then I think of Rikishi.
How's it spelled?
Rakish.
I'm saying you'd probably be Rakish.
But Rakish sounds mental.
Yeah,
or Rakish. Like a hat.
Could be, yeah.
I also might have been a bit hasty on the loanees thing because I can't actually pay for anyone, and I've written League One might be horrible.
Yeah.
I get my season back on track quite early on with a win against Cov. Forgive me.
Yeah, sorry.
And then I suddenly realised that I'm in 12th on 11 points, but Peterborough are in first with 13. And as you can see, it's kind of carried on. Like Bolton and Peterborough are streaking ahead. They're 44 and 41 points.
Playoffs is all to play for.
But playoffs I could easily get into by the end of the season. We'll see how it goes.
I believe in
the other annoying thing is that fucking Luke Matheson, who left me for Oldham, is now just in the same league as me. But whenever and they're below me as well. And whenever one of my players is doing well, he's the one who's like ex-Rochdale hero, who loves everyone.
Luke Matheson is in the young lad who signed for Wolves.
The right back at Rochdale. So that's what's annoying, is in my game, I got less for Luke Matheson than in real life, which is piss. I like Luke Matheson.
He's like one of, when you see these players,
I like
Jude
his smoked
Bellingham.
sausages.
They're delicious. I like Matheson.
When you see players like Bellingham, and when I watched the Cov Birmingham the week, I saw him in real life, saw Bellas, and he looks much older than 16.
Yeah.
He looks.
Do you not believe him? Are you calling him a liar?
I'm not sure. Whereas Luke Matheson, he looks like
17.
a child.
Well, have you seen that thing? He's refused. He only joined Wolves if he was allowed to still do his A-levels, which is really nice.
Cute.
He's doing psychology, history, and sociology. I found that out this morning. I've got a player, my left back, first choice left back, called Danny Preston, and the one club,
Such a British name.
The one club who keeps trying to buy him is Preston, and it feels like you're in charge of Preston.
I'm playing as Preston. That's definitely what I would do.
I looked. I was like, could it be?
Could it be?
It's invaded.
And the main learning I've had this season is, annoyingly, that I play much better when I play cautious.
Okay.
And I hate it. I've played my entire career with positive or attacking, and now I'm being forced into the cautious play.
You got to sometimes.
Fuck that.
I don't like it.
I'm always attacking.
But I thought, because I don't have much else to say beyond that, I'll just answer questions about the future for you both.
I do like it.
I'd like, so obviously...
How far in the future, or where are you at right now?
November 2027.
Okay. Yeah.
7 years.
Here's some interesting stuff. I always like looking at England. I think England's interesting. Currently, our manager is Paco Gemes.
Okay.
Of where was he? He's been all over the place. He's Rayo Vallecano, and then he went to Sociedad Watford, and then England, which is nuts. We can't be that good. Alexander Arnold's currently the captain, as you'd expect, and he's unbelievable.
Good.
I'd like you to tell me who in the modern era, and by the modern era I mean when we started these games, so 2019 onwards.
Yeah.
Who do you think now is our highest capped player of all time, England?
Kane?
It isn't Kane.
Sterling.
It is Sterling.
Hey.
Sterling's got 153
Whoa.
caps. Kane's only got
That's a lot.
129.
I mean, dare I say
might have
Sterling
had
started
injuries.
when he was younger, like in the international setup?
I think that's
A
probably
little bit,
right.
yeah. And it takes some injuries for Kane. That's...
We have of course won the FIFA World Cup during that time.
What year?
As I
When are we
told
looking
you.
forward to that?
2022 or
was-
2026?
It was about it was pretty early on.
2020. It's got to be 2022.
It's good. But yeah, wait a second. No, we didn't. We won the European Championship twice.
Do you know what I'd bloody love to know?
Go on.
Who won the 2020 Olympic gold?
Okay. Olympics.
And I'm going to put a bet on that.
Yeah?
No. Well, the Olympics might not even happen. So.
History. Modern day. Past winners. 2020.
Yeah.
Do you want to play some bets?
I always fancy because they have a good under 23 set up a bit of Mexico in the World Cup. Actually, fuck it, Spain.
Okay.
Oh, God. I have no... Germany.
Wrong. Argentina won it. Mexico got the bronze in 2024, though, which is nice. I also didn't know in 1996, Nigeria won the Olympic gold. That's fun. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Who won the 2020 Champions League? Because I have a bet on right now, which is Liverpool to be undefeated and win the Champions League.
Fuck me.
What's that going to pay?
It's like 18-1. as
Only
well.
18?
Yeah.
They are quite good.
Mate.
That's still...
2020 Champions League?
That's hard to do.
I'll be Paris Saint-Germain
Oh.
for the second year in a row, according to this.
Wow.
It was a cheeky
Bop.
bet. It was a cheeky little bet.
Yeah, they won it twice in a row. Then Man City won it. Then Paris Saint-Germain won it again. Liverpool, Man U, Barcelona, Man U. Barcelona, by the way, currently have in their first team Declan Rice, Sancho, Sterling, and I think they've got someone else English as well.
The invasion.
Oh no, that's it. Where's Bellas? Let's
I mean,
find out where
they are
Bellas
good
went.
players.
Bellingham.
He's got to be a Man U.
He's at Watford.
Watford? Is he not
Went
quite...
Birmingham to Burnley to Watford.
He's not quite
He's not popping on his save.
He's worth 55 million. He must be doing all
Maybe
right.
Watford are doing all right.
He's their star player. Let's have a look at Watford's status. No,
Go
still
down the
mid-table.
rabbit hole.
All mid-table.
What's Roy Hodgson up to?
Let's have a look at Roy.
He's got to retire. Actually, he'll never retire, will he?
Roy-
He'll die on the bench.
Roy Hodgson has retired or died on the bench.
What about Sam Allardyce?
Sam Allardyce. He is no longer in the game, and his son... Is it his son, Sam Allardyce, as well?
I don't know.
He's got a
I didn't know
a
he-
relative called Sam Allardyce who also plays football.
I didn't know his species were able to have children.
I know, it's insane, isn't it? But he does not have a club.
So I was a little bored over the weekend, so I booted up Football Manager 2012 or 13. I
Yeah.
can't remember which one it was, just to see what it was like. Just see what it was like back then. It was a lot worse. And I started at Spurs, and I forgot all the fucking shite we had. Well, we still had Modric and Van der Vaart. People, there's some players in that squad that I don't wish to have anymore. But because obviously when you come in, then it kicks out Harry Redknapp, and he instantly becomes England manager.
Every time.
So alternative future,
Yeah.
Harry Redknapp as England manager. It could have happened.
Could have.
Should it have?
Probably
Joe,
not.
any other interests? Any other stuff?
I want... tell me who's won the Ballon d'Or for the last few years.
Ballon d'Or.
I think they might call it World.
I've got it
Player.
renamed, mate. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
good.
Let's go through them. 2019, Mauro Cardy.
That's odd.
Okay.
2020, Kylian Mbappe.
That makes sense.
2021, Neymar.
Okay.
So that's 3 years of Paris Saint-Germain players in my game, by the way.
Fucking hell, yeah.
2022,
But they did win the Champions League 2 years in a row, didn't they? So.
2022,
Harry?
Harry.
Yes.
Big Harry Kane. 2023, Neymar again. 2024, Harry Kane again.
Fucking
bringing
hell.
it back. 2025, Kai Havertz.
Oh,
he's
I'd love to see
stepped
that.
up. He's at PSG as well. 2026, back to
don't see
Mbappe.
that.
So Paris Saint-Germain have been doing pretty
dominated.
well
Yeah.
as it goes. They're now managed by Lionel Scaloni.
Which is odd.
I wouldn't have expected.
There you go.
Is there an easy way of checking like a big bunch of managers in one place?
What do you mean?
I want to see the weirdest managers at clubs.
You can win like manager of the year. Well, I just go... If you go to Premier League and then just go down through each of the clubs.
Let's have a quick look. Let's see who we got. Man City. Jurgen Klopp.
Ooh.
Everton,
Can't
who are
see
in
that ever
second
happening.
place currently. Eddie Howe.
Okay.
Tottenham. Nuno Espirito Santo,
I like it.
which I would take.
I like
Chelsea, Sergio Conceição.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man U, Zinedine Zidane.
Ooh.
Odd.
Been a while since I've
couldn't
looked at
see
the Premier
that.
League in this. Liverpool. Here's a weird one. Andre Villas-Boas. Making a big return to the top table.
I like that.
Watford, Giampiero Raimondi. No idea.
Can't say I'm familiar with his work.
Norwich, Daniel Farker still there.
I like
Absolutely killing it at Norwich. They're in 8th. Leeds are led by a regen called Paul Williams.
Sounds very
I love
likely.
that stuff.
Big Willow.
Wolves also led by a regen, Charlie Doyle.
I was going to say these aren't real. They literally aren't real people.
Arsenal, Pep Guardiola. That's a sad state of affairs. Burnley. Oh, Burnley's manager is Hugo Lloris. What are his stats like?
That's
He's
odd.
pretty good.
I couldn't see him as a man. He'll just retire and have a nice time.
Oh, he'll be drinking wine in the countryside for years.
I think he's like the son of like a Monaco
I'll tell you
banker
what,
as well. He doesn't
Lloris
really
has
do
had
anything.
quite a journey. He retires from Tottenham. Immediately, like 3 months later, becomes manager of Luton.
Bloody hell.
Then goes to Cadiz.
I've got big breaking
Burnley.
news in real life.
What?
Breaking news.
Is it football based?
Better not be a terrorist attack.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will host Capital's summertime ball in June.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Overwatch or some shit.
No, but Guns N' Roses playing, mate. The Capital Summertime Ball. You can see Mark Ronson, Khalid, Maroon 5, and the Jonas Brothers.
Sounds like the shittest gig.
I'm just looking through the rest. Diego Simeone is West Ham manager. And that's the last interesting one.
Good.
Anything
We've got
else?
a final. Well, I was thinking.
Are you bored?
There's a big thing to do, and I can't wait much longer.
Okay.
Come on, boys. Talking about lending me money. Let's have it!
Let's do the final.
We're doing the final? How do
Well,
I
let's
do
set
this?
it up again. Who are we playing and what is it?
So, it's the San Jose Earthquakes.
Yep.
And it's so, with the playoffs, do you go into a final of your league and then have another?
I'm guessing it'll be like the NFL. You have a conference final and then an overall league
Yes, I
final.
think it's. So I'm pretty sure it's the conference final.
Okay, so this
Screen them
isn't
on
the
right now, I
MLS
can't check,
final.
but
Okay.
yeah. But it's against San Jose Earthquakes. I've got all my best boys playing.
Is it played on neutral ground?
So right now I'm locked into this screen.
Oh, just play
Hang
the
on.
fucking game
I
then.
know, right? All the questions. I'm just trying to see.
Bloody questions.
Avea Stadium, wherever that is.
Sounds
we
California.
should
But
know.
they're San Jose Earthquakes are at home. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Bear in mind, this game moves pretty fast, so I'm not going to do commentary. I'll just alert you when something important
I'm
happens.
interested.
I'm pressing play.
What-
We
what's
should
the-
probably
what's the
say-
team?
I'm fine. I've
okay.
found it here.
This is the San Jose home
Yeah.
stadium.
So, Luka Zidane is playing goalkeeper. Yeah, obviously. Good. Jesus Molina is my
Alfred
player,
Molina.
who's one of the
Doctor.
first players I bought. He's playing defensive midfield. I've got my strikers, Luis Suarez and Omar Al-Sama. Everyone else is
Such a dynamic duo.
they're just players that you wouldn't
Yeah.
be interested in.
I'm
So let's
interested.
just go.
Go.
Play the game.
I am playing the game.
So is this just a one-legged affair? It's not 2 legs or anything?
Yeah, it's just one-legged. One-legged? One leg. Just this final. It's 20 minutes and nothing has happened,
That
by the way.
sounds
Yeah.
dull.
I'm glad.
Oh, no. Yeah, San Jose Earthquakes have scored. Harold Cummings has scored in the 22nd minute.
Is that funny?
No.
I've just looked up.
Cum Dog has scored.
I've just looked up LAFC on my game. They've got Juan Foyth, Jordan Lukaku, and Andreas Pereira on their books in mine. That's quite good.
So it's half-time. I'm just looking, and Brian Rodriguez is having a stinker on the right
Who
wing.
you got on the bench?
So let's have a look. I've got Matty Longstaff. It's not a winger. I've got Corona. Corona's coming on.
Absolutely.
He's a
Why is he
winger.
not starting?
100%.
Well, he's not that good. And Morrison's on the bench as well, actually. So I've also got Hawula on the bench and Longstaff on the bench.
Oh,
Just
wow.
mentioned.
Hawula coming on that.
So I'm bringing on Corona. Let's do this. Right, second half kicking off.
Let's hope he spreads the play.
Okay, 60th minute and nothing's happening again. It's a very boring game, this one.
I'm into it.
But it looks like we're making lots of chances. We've had 6 shots.
Are you getting them in, though?
No. Possession is 46% for Cancun and Corona Colts, though. So not quite good enough. And it's full time and it's 1-0. And that was
Amazing. What a season.
My bit was more fun than that.
I don't know. What can I do? You can only deal with what's in front of you. It was a boring ass game, and we're out.
One extra bit
Amazing.
of info from mine. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Queen's Park Rangers manager.
You stand your ground and fight.
Let's do some feedback. Now,
I want to say that the fans were very disappointed that we lost today.
I think they would be. I think they
Narrowly
would be.
lost.
I think they now have some hatred for you.
I thought there might be some
Well,
interesting
you
ones
know,
for you. I'm going
I
to give that
suspect I
one
won't
to
be seeing
you.
them much longer, so it won't be an issue.
God, some of these are
This one to
double
you.
page
Oh, mate, we've got
stories.
some long-ass feedback this week.
And these are our last winners, right?
Well, so yes, this is the last week in which people will be winning copies for their trouble. So I thought we'd go big. This was on the theme of hatred, which people have got a lot.
People have got a lot stored up, and I don't blame them.
These are our fave hateful boys.
So I've got one here that doesn't say who it's from.
Does he not? I can have a quick look. Don't worry about
Please
that.
tell me.
Mine's got a name at the bottom if we want me to start with mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on,
It's from Dan. Don't have a surname, but it's just Dan.
Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Greetings to the firm. With hatred being the topic for the next episode, I thought I'd email in with my story. I should add, I'm around 8 years FM sober
I
at
was
the
going to say I'm
moment.
around 8 years old.
I'm around 8 years old. He's 8 years FM's football manager sober, so he doesn't play. Having played every iteration since Champman 1 on Amiga in the early 90s.
Ledge.
My earliest memory was signing an aging Ray Wilkins who turned out not to be quite the player he once was.
Oh.
My story isn't about Butch, R.I.P., though. I assume Butch is a nickname
It's
for Ray
his nickname,
Wilkins,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Though, or anyone within the game, it is actual living, breathing human being. That's the way it's written.
Yeah, but you could have done that.
It is actually a living, breathing human being. The year is 2001. United signed
Is he just venting some hatred for a friend?
United signed Van Nistelrooy for a British record fee of 19 million, and Liverpool complete a fantastic trophy treble, meaning a Premier League title must be just round the corner. I was 21 and working at a now defunct Tiny Computers in Bluewater. Tiny Computers. That takes me back hearing that.
Blue War. I haven't been there for a while either.
Days could be rather dull, so we would try to amuse ourselves. Myself and two others decided to install Championship Manager 2000 to 2001 on one of the display PCs and play as a team we support. I have fond memories of us all bidding on such legends as Javier Saviola, Cherno Samba, Kjell Karlström, Felipe Mex. I guess it's
Mexes.
Mexes, yeah. Martin Palermo. Oh, God, this is
Fine, Palermo.
There we go. And my personal favourite, Championship Manager Royalty, Tonton Zola Mkuku.
Yeah.
As our game progressed, we managed to become the three most dominant teams in the Premier League and Europe. Our vice-like grip on world football was just almost a cartel as we hoarded the best players and stopped anyone else from winning major trophies for many years. It's probably the most fun I've ever had with Championship Manager or Football Manager, as I was competing against my mates rather than just the computer.
I can't wait for the hatred.
Where's the hatred?
Okay.
You'll get it. So far, it's good. We managed to keep this hidden from our boss for ages. Enter our senior sales manager.
Prick.
He took it upon himself one day when none of us were on shift to show our managers our save game. Little snitch.
I know.
We would leave the game running for hours on end in the background without playing, as we dealt with customers who had the audacity to ask us questions and buy PCs, cutting in on our valuable Championship Manager time. When he showed our boss our save game, the in-game timer stated we had played the game for a month solid, and naturally our boss was livid. The game was promptly deleted, and we're all reprimanded with warnings for misuse of company time. I disliked Matt before. I hated him afterwards. I still do, some 19 years later.
I'm writing this from prison. After I killed him.
I don't know whether he was jealous that the three of us had fun, or he was just a bit of an arsehole who wanted to score points with his boss. Keep up the great work, Dan.
Sounds like you don't.
I mean, to be fair, it was...
Grow up, Dale.
You were being...
Oh, you're absolutely the kind of guy who's going to do this.
I don't know if I'd snitch, but I would go up to him and say, guys, this is a piss take. Like, I'm working hard here.
What I would say about Dan is that he had approached management positions of Tiny Computers, so I'm not sure it's going to have gone so well for him after that anyway.
Probably not.
He's probably fine.
Have we worked out who mine's from?
Yeah, but I've realised I'm going to read two in a row, so I'm going to do one first.
Oh, okay.
Eat that.
Well,
this is from Matt Spink,
Hello,
who goes
Matt.
by Egg Daddy on Twitter, which I like. Hello, the firm. Congratulations on a wonderful show, blah, 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 nice things. I know you mentioned individuals when posing this question, but my hatred is aimed at a club. My club. The one I have supported through thick and thin for the last 30 years. That club is Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Having only come back to the football spreadsheet game genre very recently, having been inspired to purchase the game on Switch after listening to your first show, it was a no-brainer for me to kick Roy Warhammer Hodgson out of his safe management seat.
Sports Interactive millions at this point.
I think we're doing pretty well for him, mate. And take Matt's beloved club onto the next level. I knew this would be a challenge, but having seen how we've performed over recent years, I figured that with some clever transfers and employing similar tactics to Roy, I could move us slowly up the table. 5 episodes later, I guess, of us, with hundreds of hours put into the game, at least 15 career restarts, and a Nintendo Switch that knows it's one failure away from being hurled into a wall, I am at the end of my tether. FM 2020 hates Crystal Palace. I am genuinely convinced it hates me. I've tried every single tactic and formation in the game. I've spent the £30 million transfer budget on more combinations of players than I can count. I've tried Cardy style management, driver style management, hairdryer and hugger, and nothing works. Benteke, Ayew, Zaha and Townsend always massively underperform.
30 million?
Morale always drops. El Sakiko always looms. Hampered by an already huge wage budget, I found recently that apparently Palace have the 19th highest wage bill in the world.
Oh my God.
I have found that whilst £30 million will allow me to cast a fairly wide net in terms of players, the minuscule additional wage budget heavily restricts my buying power. I feel a challenge coming on. Yeah. Every attempt goes one of two ways.
Sounds easier, mate.
Either I start out poorly and never leave the relegation zone, or I start strong and by December I'm in the top 6. The latter sounds good, doesn't it? Wrong! Every time I have one of these seasons, Santa's gift to me is sending Vinnie Jones on a rampage during my training sessions, resulting in a series of training injuries to my key players. No broken spines yet, but I have had broken legs, torn knee ligaments, mystery illnesses, cracked skulls, the list goes on. By February, I'm at the bottom of the table every single time. The longest I've survived as Palace manager so far is the 3rd week of February, with my wonderful club in ruins, player morale in the gutter, and the fans shouting, "Bring back Woy."
This is like an awful Groundhog Day.
Sadly, it seems the club is following a similar pattern in real life, but hopefully Woy has better success in real life than I've been having in the game. I would love nothing more than to survive one season in charge at Palace, but for my sanity and the safety of my Switch, I am taking a career break from football management currently. I shall continue to listen from my bolt hole in the Caymans. Thanks, Matt. That is really sad. Cardy thinks it sounds easy, though.
I reckon. I just think I could do it. I mean, I've never tried it.
Could you do a season as Palace before the next episode?
Before the next episode? I've just had really weird deja vu that you've asked me that question before. I mean, I could. I've got a lot of actual games I need to play for work at the moment. But
we'll have a look at it. We'll see who can fit in some time to get in a season
maybe
of Crystals.
That's maybe we combine as a force.
That's interesting. We could do that. Well, let's have a talk. We'll think about it. If you want to try and compete as Crystal Palace, I mean, we don't have any more copies to give away, so sorry about that. But
buy it.
Just see what you do and let us know.
I mean, I feel like if you've listened to this many episodes of a Football Manager podcast, you're probably interested in buying the game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So this next email is from Andy Palmer.
Is this the one I'm reading?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Andy. Hatred. An emotion I don't feel... This is Andy, not me. It's also me. I like to think of myself as a relatively calm gentleman. I've got a bonsai. You know how it is. I like it. The most prominent blemish in my otherwise serene existence was caused by I was playing Football Manager 11. It was caused by Jack Walton. Okay. Jack Walton, regen. Born 29th of June 1996 in Liverpool.
I don't want to step on your performance too much, but you've missed out my favourite bit, which is Jack Walton, regen. The regen.
You critiquing my performance?
I'm not going to look at it anymore. It's just I knew that was coming up and I was really excited.
I'll do it again. Jack Walton, regen. The regen. Born 29th of June 1996 in Liverpool, he joined QPR's youth academy in 2012 at the age of 16. A year later, he was signed for £1.2 million by Chelsea to swell their loan ranks. With loans at Hearts, Celtic, Bolton, Wigan and Dynamo Kiev.
Oh, yes.
I had chicken Kiev last night, and aren't they glorious things?
Dynamos.
Yeah. I had chicken Kiev yesterday as well. That's weird. For lunch, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I bet you both stink.
I went to the
I do
dentist
feel a bit
afterwards.
Jack Wilson forged a name for himself as one of the most promising central midfielders of his generation. In 2019, at the age of 23, Jack was signed by Barcelona for $7.25 million, which doesn't seem a lot for a 24-year-old midfield sensation. I got 70 odd for Bellingham. I just
this is
the region.
2011.
Yeah, times have changed and the world's gone mad. It was here that he went from merely promising to absolutely world-beating. First season with Barcelona saw him make 47 appearances, score 15 and 13 assists. He spent a further 2 seasons with the Catalan Giants, registering seasonal average ratings of 7.76, 7.8 and 7.95.
How does he still have these stats from 2011? That's fucking amazing.
So loaded up his old save.
Yeah, it's great.
I was going to do that, actually. In 2022, for $36 million, he joined my all-conquering Aston Villa. Oh, what a player. What a magnificent player, Jack. He dominated every midfield in which he played. With a right foot like a traction engine, he could slam one in from out of nowhere. He could dance his way through defences. He could break up play and start counters with consummate ease. I loved him. He loved me. I became one of his favourites. Is this going to end in marriage?
Not if it's under
his hatred.
Yeah.
It could end in
Set up
divorce.
like a love story or a poem at the start.
I became one of his favourite people. He became my idol. Underneath my matchday suit, I would wear a Villa shirt with Walton 8 on the back, like you did sometimes at school, but could never get away with it. Did you ever do that?
Nope.
No.
But I did get away with it because it was Jack.
And you're in charge of Aston Villa.
Unfortunately, I can't say the name. No, I can't say the same about his agent. For a reason I could never figure out, his agent absolutely fucking hated me.
Splitter.
And I mean hated. His opinion of me was quite literally, hates you. Wow! After 6 very fruitful seasons in my warming embrace, Jack was due a contract renewal. Standard fare for a player of his import. Just accept whatever the fuck he wants. Just open the negotiation window and click accept. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've got the money, and whatever Jack wants, Jack gets. Now I need... I just had an image of like the Fight Club thing of like Jack's. It turns out he is Jack Ball. Now I need to remind you that my Villa team were all conquering. We won everything. We were rich beyond imagination. But for some reason the board wouldn't accept Jack's terms. Why? Because his agent, that fucking agent, that absolute scum.
Did he want to own the club?
He wanted $500k a week in wages for Jack, and he wouldn't budge. And on top of those wages, on top of 500 fucking thousand fucking pounds a fucking week, he wanted his own cut to the absurdly insane sum of 10 million.
Oh my God!
You love agents.
He knows his worth. He's like Conor McGregor.
That's more than Barca paid for him. Right. He wanted me to pay him £10 million for his client, my beautiful boy, to stay with me. I couldn't do it. I mean, if you really were Jack's best boy, you would have told him to get rid of his agent.
Yeah, that's not possible in the game.
The thing is, no one
man.
else is going to meet these demands. Well, maybe they will.
You haven't heard the end of the story, yeah?
Agent might just prefer other people.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I wanted to do it. I'd do anything for Jack, but it would have quite irreparably damaged the club's finances. So the season ran down. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Counting down. The inevitable. Jack's departure. And like that, he had gone to Man City.
Ugh.
A rival for free. He never did put in the kind of performances there as he did for me. I like to think it's because whilst they were paying his wages, his heart was always with me in Birmingham. My boy. My Jack. That fucking agent.
It's beautiful. It's really lovely. It's horrible, but it's lovely.
Thank you, and I hope you have healed.
Yeah,
and I hope it's now better for you.
And it also sounds like you're.
I feel like this was a healing process.
Yeah,
really needed to get this.
It seems like having to load up that save to get those average ratings would fucking kill you all over again. It'd be awful. That's all our winners this week. But I've got one more because I really like this from Daniel Meach. But Daniel Meach is from New Zealand and thus is not eligible to be sent a copy. But I wanted to read it out.
Yeah.
So just have this. Kia ora, lads, because that's what you say in the New Zealands. Hope the firm is going well. It's my first ever game of Football Manager 2020. I decided to play as the Wellington Phoenix, since they're the only professional team in my country, New Zealand, and have a cool name. I didn't know that was true. I start the season off by turning 32-year-old benchwarmer Gary Hooper into a regular starter. My decision to start him is guided solely by 2 facts. 1, he's described as being a target man, despite being only 5'6". And 2...
5'6"?
And his Wikipedia
Is this the
page...
actual Gary Hooper?
I think it might be.
He's bigger than that.
His Wikipedia page says he's the first player in history to have scored in every professional league in the UK, as well as the Champions League and Europa League. Playing Hooper is both the best and worst decision of my career. Gary is a goal-scoring machine, netting 38 goals in all club competitions, but he is incredibly streaky and has a habit of getting carded/sent off every couple of games.
He's calm down.
I both love him and hate him, but can't seem to drop him from my team. This is quite a similar vibe to the last one. Over the course of the season, his unique mix of goal-scoring ability and absolute fuckwittery gives me more highs and lows than I've ever experienced in Football Manager. We finished top of the league but lose the final. The A-League operates on a playoff system like MLS, on penalties to Melbourne City, after an insane 3-3 game which sees Hooper score a hat-trick and get red-carded all in the first half. I rage for a bit over Hooper's stupid dismissal, but then collect myself and move on. I'm planning my signings for next year, certain we can win the league for real this time, when a bombshell is dropped on me. I receive a notification that Hooper and Sydney FC are in negotiations.
Oh, no.
Hooper's contract runs out in 3 months and Sydney want to sign him once it's finished. Panicking, I revert instantly to a pleading ex-boyfriend. I beg Hooper to stay, offering him higher wages, more first-team football, anything if he extends his contract with us. Hooper turns me down, telling me the Phoenix just isn't big enough for a star of his calibre. I'm devastated, but understand and resign myself to losing him. But then, a light appears at the end of the tunnel. Sydney FC sack their manager. I see the opportunity, a chance to move to a club with more money and retain Gary Hooper. I attend an interview and get the job. I uproot my family and move to Sydney. My loyalty score plummets from 10 to 2. I have to re-enroll all my children in new schools. But it's all worth it, because I'm back with Hooper.
Hoop dog.
Or so I think.
Bet Hooper's a barrel of laughs.
I checked the squad page.
Etymology pun
it's good that, I liked it. I checked the squad page and notice there's no Gary Hooper. Turns out Hooper and Sydney FC never reached an agreement.
That's your own fault. This isn't agent. This is poor research.
A little worried, I reach out to the Knicks, which I didn't know was Phoenix, Wellington Phoenix, and Hooper, and offer them absolutely insane terms to complete a move immediately. The Knicks are open to it, but Hooper tells me he won't leave, telling me he now wants to retire at Wellington Phoenix and he isn't a fan of my managerial style.
Oh, wow.
It took you
Turncoat.
Yeah.
A little while later, he extends his contract with the Knicks until 2022. I cannot fucking believe it. Double-crossed by my star player and, dare I say, friend. I tried to re-sign with Wellington Phoenix, but they're happy with their current manager. I try again to move Hooper, but he's not having it. This absolute fucking weasel just does not want to play with me. I feel betrayed, hurt and angry, but decide to move on and channel my frustration into the regular season. My Sydney FC team, the Man City of the A-League, easily coasts into first place, and I do my best to forget about the mercurial Gary Hooper. But try as I might, I just can't escape the pull of that beautiful asshole. Okay. Yep. It's a different vibe. Hooper's Knicks finish in 6th place, a playoff spot. Now you see why I wanted to read it. It's a good email as well.
What I'm learning from this is that we should all remember that love is a two-way street.
Yes, indeed. As are beautiful assholes.
Oh, my God.
And after
always a two-way street, mate.
Oh, come on.
And after battling their way through 2 1-0 wins, line up across the pitch for us for the Hyundai A-League final. So it's Phoenix versus Sydney, if it's not clear, because we were laughing over it. An early goal from Jamie McLaren puts us ahead almost immediately. We absolutely dominate the game. But then it happens. Of course it fucking happens. On the 73rd minute, David Ball is subbed off for Gary Hooper. A couple minutes later, Hooper nets a brace in typical fashion. 2 absolutely bullshit headers knocked in from 2 absolutely bullshit corners.
They get sent off there.
The game finishes 2-1, and I am forced to endure the shame of losing the league in the playoffs a second time, once again thanks to the absolute asshole that is Gary Hooper.
This is poetic.
I finish the game in a rage and skip through until the end of the season. I decide that no matter what it takes, I will pay through the eyeballs to get Hooper, just so I can have the satisfaction of moving him into my reserve team.
At this point, I wouldn't want him anymore.
And then I realise
fuck him.
Hooper retired after that game. He will forever have the last laugh. Fuck Gary Hooper. God, I miss him, though. Sincerely, Daniel Meach.
It's almost a bit like the Prestige. They could be feuding for years. He should take up a managerial position.
I really felt the love/hatred.
I thought that was great. Thank you very much for all of those. That's it for this time. We will let you know, and I'm sure there will be some upset people, but next week or next episode will be our last regular episode of It's Football Day.
We've got a lot on.
It turns out that playing loads of Football Manager all the time is not conducive to a normal job.
That'll be the last regular one in 2 weeks, and then we do definitely plan on coming back towards the Euros.
We want to do something for the Euros.
Definitely.
It might become a sort of every so often we convene and do something with Football Manager.
I'm sure Cardy's the same as well. Very much the way I play Football Manager every year is I play it massively for a start, and then I'll go off it for months, and then I'll come back to it and get addicted.
I'm already
to it
feeling that. I've got 1 or 2 seasons to go though, and we've got some times ahead of us. Let me tell you that. And what do we want for so at the end of next episode?
Yes,
our feedback for next time. Are we just doing this for me, or are we doing it?
We'll do it for the two of us.
Okay. I want you to let me and Joe know, put case towards one of us or both of us, if you've got pictures of both, of why you should take over from us at the helm, and I will upload and give you my Football Manager save as I leave it at the end of next episode.
So there's no more copies to give out next week.
No, we're out of copies. But you can have a copy of my save file
for the people who make the best cases for if you're playing Football Manager full fat. You can carry on Cardy's Newcastle save.
Yes.
Or FM Touch on PC/Mac. You can carry on my Rochdale save.
Sadly, you can't have the Corona boys because mobile does not allow.
Well, there's cloud data, but you'd have to have my Apple login, and I'm not willing to do that.
That's too big a price.
I'm not saying this is limited to one. If I see 2 grey entries, I might. You can.
That's a great point. We can send it to multiple people. Yeah. But we want to bequeath our careers to people. You'll also presumably get my horrible face data. My manager's an absolute disgrace of a man in there.
But if you want to join a Newcastle team on top of Europe, well, it'll be the end of next. We'll see. Mate. Yeah,
the Newcastle Revolution
in roughly the year 2030. You'll have some pace in the team.
So that's it. We're gonna have the end of the Newcastle saga. We're going to have... I don't know how I'm going to finish the Rochdale saga. I don't know what's going to happen there. It might be an absolute squib. And the Cancun Corona Colts, I presume...
I'll give it one more
welly.
One more season and see how we get on.
See how those boys work out in the MLS. But until then, it is Football Day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let's have some fun. It's Football Day.
Legends. Long have legends inspired people the world over. For in legends, we see the worlds of the impossible unfold before us.
Heroic quests, horrific monsters, gods, magic, tales of the valiant and the villainous. But more than that, in legend, we see ourselves reflected in the stories we tell.
I'm William Stark.
And I'm Omar Timsaw.
And we are D&D Legends and Lore. Join us as we explore the fantastic lore of the world's most popular tabletop RPG. Suddenly, a beam of radiant light pierces the haze. Then, a powerful angel streaks down from above. She is pure beauty, fury, and zeal.
Arashni, your sentence has been spoken by the Sildarine. For what you have done, you are declared demon. Be what you are, and go where you must. You can find D&D Legends and Lore on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts can be found.
Hey folks, we're the hosts of Comic Sans, the podcast about comics for those who are sans knowledge. I'm Yen, a reader, writer, liver, and breather of comic books.
And I'm Nat. I used to know absolutely nothing about comics, but now...
So actually, I've got a quiz for you.
I still have a lot to learn about comics.
Thank you. On Comic Sans, I make Nat read some of my favorite works in the medium, including Saga, Daredevil, and the Flintstones.
And Yen talks about what makes that comic special. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's...
Paneling, gutters, page turns, colorings, lettering, semiotics, juxtaposition.
Okay, Professor, save it for the episodes.
You can listen to Comic Sans on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can binge our first 2 seasons. That's over 20 episodes on 20 different comics.
And we just launched Season 3, new episodes every 2 weeks.